All right. Welcome back to the final Dirty 30 podcast before draft day. Officially 3 days out, going to be the Sunday at Tanner's Place. Sounds like we can kind of get there around 3. Draft will start around 8. What do you guys think you're bringing for food this weekend?
Christian, what do you got?
I know everyone is speculating the buffalo chicken dip, which I love. I do love making buffalo chicken dip. But I'm thinking of switching it up a little this year. I thought about doing just like some like summer sausage, cheese, and crackers. I feel like that's always a good snack.
Oh, yeah.
Charcuterie
I
board.
did,
Oh, that get Rachel excited. She loves that.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I feel like that's always like a safe play.
Yeah.
Doesn't get you too filled up, and but I dabbled in some buffalo chicken mac and cheese recently, and I
Ew.
thought about doing that because I feel like that would be a nice little side piece for the ribs that Tanner's making. So we'll see what happens.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like
I
it. Debbie,
love
got any
that.
thoughts?
I was actually just at my brother's this last weekend, and I made a Reuben dip that actually turned out pretty good.
Love
So
it.
I
That
don't know how
sounds
many
good.
people like Reubens or anything like that, but it turned out pretty
Always.
good. So and it's
Oh yeah.
super easy. So
Love it, man.
might do
And
that.
I'm just going uh
Fruit.
I don't know if you get no, no, no. I'm just that. I don't know if you guys have ever had like that rotella and sausage and cream cheese dip.
Absolutely.
That thing is
So good.
so easy and so
So good.
bomb. So
Need it.
I think I'm going that route.
Very good.
Um, Today's episode's a big one. We're going to kind of discuss the crazy amount of trades that we've already had since last episode, and then we're going to go get right into it, and we're predicting the first round. So it's a big one. I'll
Big
jump right
episode.
into it with the trades. Maybe I'll just kind of run through all 4 of them and just kind of get your guys's thoughts here. Last episode started with Devin Derek's trade. Christian, you weren't on, but maybe get your 2 cents here on the CMC trade. Then kind of later in the week, Christian swapped keepers, and then he traded out of the first overall pick and into the second overall pick with Rody. And then I don't know, yesterday or 2 days ago, God, it's hard to keep everything in order.
It's been a big week.
It's been a big
Yeah.
week, man. Debbie moved up to the number 4 overall pick, giving Marcus 3 total second round picks and a couple other
Yeah.
things. And then we also got Derek's keeper, the last keeper that we were waiting on, which is going to be J.K. Dobbins.
Mm-hmm.
Huge.
Since a lot of these trades kind of involved you too, what was kind of your thought process between your trades, or if you want to comment on the other person's trade? Floor is kind of open here. So what were you guys thinking?
Yeah, I since I wasn't on last week, just kind of a brief comment on that trade with CMC and Dev and Derek. I think it was a great trade for the league just to kind of really spark things up before the draft.
Oh yeah.
But also at the same time, like I love Dev going out and getting his guy. If CMC is his guy, you go out and you get him because you know what? Like you can live with him maybe getting hurt. You can live with him maybe like underperforming, but at least you went out and got him. I thought Derek got a pretty good return, especially because, I mean, maybe Dobbins was his keeper the whole time. I mean, so I think it was a good move for both sides. I definitely respect Dev going out and getting his guy, and Dirk getting what he could for a top player in CMC.
Yeah. I mean, this league involves like 10 pretty sharp individuals when it comes to fantasy football.
Right?
That's
It's
Yeah.
a
No
good
one's a
league.
you
no
kind
one's a
of
dummy.
you look at everyone's trade and it's just be like, yep, I get why they did that. I get why the other person did that too. And yeah,
Yeah.
I wasn't really expecting to do that, but I was kind of thinking one day, I was just like, I wonder if Derek's actually going to keep him. There's a lot of people that are worried about the injury aspect of it. So that was kind of how things got kickstarted. Was I was just like, what's your thoughts on him? Are you worried that he's going to get hurt, or is he even for sale? Kind of thing. So he did want to keep him, but I think that he said, for the right offer, obviously anything's for sale. So, and then we
for
just
sure.
went from there. So,
For sure. I
Yeah,
love it. Debbie, talk a little bit about your trades that you made.
the one with Marcus.
Yeah. What were you thinking there?
Yeah, I wasn't. he he hit me up on that, and I had never really thought of moving up or in or what it would cost, and I didn't even when he sent, when we kind of finalized something, I was just like, I kind of sat on it for a little bit because I was like, I'm really not going to have a pick until the 6th round. I'm missing out on a lot of guys. And Marcus is so nice because I'm like, I'm going to have to nail the later part of the draft. And he's like, well, I think you could do that. You're pretty good at that. So I was just like, maybe I am. So, but I mean, with CMC, I'm just like, you know what? Let's just go all in. Fuck it. Like, I'm
Yeah.
just
And the thing
just gonna wing it and just see where it goes. And I don't know.
and I had many emotions about that trade, right? I thought, God, Devin's a fucking idiot. And then I also thought, like, I mean, Najee and Javante and CMC, like those guys aren't available during the year. They
No,
aren't. So you go
no.
get them and you
Right.
piece it together with some late round dudes or some waiver dudes, or maybe you just hit,
I
and
really want to see, yeah,
and it's
because
nice.
that even
Yeah.
took me a second at first too, was realizing that I forgot about his Marcus's other trades. So now he has 3 second rounders, and
Right.
I'm really curious how that's going to play out. So
Well, and then I also thought about it on Marcus's point of view. Like, I don't know, man. Like, moving out of the 4 spot and like guaranteeing Najee, like I don't know if I would have done that either, but
I hated it for Marcus originally, but after simmering on it a little bit, like I definitely liked it a little more as time went on. I think Marcus is putting himself in a position to have he already has 2 stud receivers, and he's gonna get 3 very good fantasy football players
Yeah.
in the 2nd round.
Yep.
And the rest of the
Chase and
league,
Lamb are 1st and 2nd round picks. So
oh, right.
and he
Right.
gets them later. So yeah, he's definitely set.
Right.
Well,
You
and the
have a
same thing for
very
you.
well-rounded team, Marcus.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I big emotions for the both of you, but yeah, I mean, I ended up with like I totally get it for both sides,
Right.
So I'm with it. And then Christian, you're move back 1 spot and just kind of get a better pick. Any real thought process besides that?
Yeah. Completely honest. Like I was fully expecting, and this is 100%. A lot of people, a couple people know this, a couple people don't, but basically my thought process was I'm going to keep JT and Andrews, and I'm going to draft Cooper Kupp #1. That was my intention the entire time. And then Tanner reached out to me wanting to trade for Kupp, and I was like, Kupp is a better value since I can keep him next year if I want to, whereas I can't keep JT next year. And then next year, am I really going to keep Kupp for a first? So then I was like, all right, let me backtrack. Let me keep Kupp and Andrews, and then I'll just draft JT #1. But then when JT became available at #1, that's when a couple people reached out. And then that's when Kyle reached out, and Kyle just said, like, hey, what's it going to take? I know it's not going to be cheap. And obviously, I had a mindset of what it would take for the #1 pick. But when I'm only dropping back 1 spot, it completely changes things because, I mean, and anybody that knows me knows, like, I have always been big, big, big on Derrick Henry. I think JT is the better player. I think he's a better fantasy player. But I'm not going to, like, if Derrick Henry finishes #1 in fantasy football, no one's going to be surprised.
No.
So I figured I would take advantage of that. I know I may be giving away my pick. But I mean, Derrick Henry just seems, I mean, he's so consistent when he's healthy, and I know he's getting older, but that just seemed like it made sense to me. And jumping up an extra 15 spots or so and replenishing that 5th-round pick that I lost for keeping Andrews, I might be able to swing a flex or a starting quarterback or tight end in that spot. You never know.
Yeah. No comment for me, man. I love it. I love it both ways again. So we're gonna get into it here. We're going to predict the first round. So
Yep.
it should be interesting. We all got 3 picks. I think it was Christian, me, Dev, correct?
Mhm.
Was kind of the order
Yep.
that we agreed on. So none of us are going to pick for ourselves. We're kind of going to pick for others. And it's going to be, hey, if we ran this team, like this is what we would do, right? It's kind of this is the exercise that we're going with. So
Right.
let me see if I can share my screen and kind of go from there. All right. You guys seeing that all right?
Yep.
Yes,
see
sir.
Yeah, I see the draft board.
Cool. So yeah. Did we say yeah, okay. So Christian, myself, Dev, Christian, myself, Dev, Christian, myself, Dev is kind of how we're gonna kind of go through this exercise. Hopefully everyone in the league likes it or it causes a little chaos. Either way, I'm good. So Christian, you are picking for Rhodey. You're on the clock here. What's your pick?
Yeah, I think with the trade that just happened, you make that trade for one reason and one reason only, and that's just to get the that's to get the number one player in fantasy football, and that's JT. I don't think there's really any question. I think if there were a couple other receivers on the board with the running backs he has, I think he could go a different route potentially, but I don't see any reason that he would sway away from JT. That's just a home run.
Yeah. Yep. I'm with you. Yeah. Debbie should probably have that on the board already when he brings it on Sunday, but we'll
I have
have
to make sure I remember it.
We'll have the suspense. I'm picking for Christian here, and sounds like Henry's the man. I think it's a 3-person race at the top. Taylor, Henry, Cook. It don't really bother me whatever order it goes, but I think it's one of those 3. And pairing Henry with Kupp and Andrews just makes a lot of sense. So
Yep.
Dev picking for
Yeah,
Tyler.
yeah, and just like you said, I would put I think Dalvin Cook there. I mean, those are the top 3 backs, and I think it helps that we're all Vikings homers pretty much. So I think I think that's the route Tyler's gonna go.
Cook gets paired with Higgins and ETN, gives them a little stud. I like it. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Devi moves it up to the 4 pick. Christian, who does Dev take? This is where the draft starts, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that the first 3 picks are not necessarily locks, but they're you got to feel pretty good about where they're going.
Yeah.
There are 3 guys here, in my opinion, that you go, and I think with the stud you traded a lot of picks for and a lot of stock for, and McCaffrey, and Dev's boy Javonte. He's going to be a breakout player. I really wouldn't go running back. I really wouldn't. I know Najee's out there. I know Kamara's out there. I know there are some really good players out there, but I think that with where Dev is at and knowing his lack of picks, he needs to kind of round out his roster a little more. And I would go Davante Adams. I think that the Raiders are going to throw a lot. I think that being back with Carr, he's arguably the number 1 receiver in football. I don't think anybody could really argue that. Maybe Kupp, but you're not going to put him outside the top 3. I would definitely take Adams if I were Dev in this situation.
I love that.
You can't go wrong. You really
And
can't go wrong.
It's definitely been on my mind because I love Adams this year. I love it.
Yeah.
So,
How can you not? I mean, how can you not?
I got some thinking to do. It's crossed my mind, that's for sure.
Yeah. Clear cut, next wide receiver off the board. Pairs with Javonte, pairs with CMC. No complaints from me, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm picking for Eric, my next running back off the board, because Cam Akers is just terrible, in my opinion.
Wow. I did not expect that. Okay.
I think Eric's got to go running back. I don't know. Cam Akers, he's already hurt. He's coming off the Achilles. I love Diggs in the 5th, but you got to go Najee. He got thrown back. He's slightly above the rest of them, in my opinion.
Okay.
Dev picking for Tanner. He's already got Eckler in the second and Gabe Davis in the 12th.
Yep. And yeah, I think this league is running backs, right? So, I think he'll go running back again. If Adams were to fall, he should take Adams because Gabe is not the answer even that late. But I think
That's fair.
I don't think he would do this. If this is how it shook out, I don't think he would do this. But I would personally go Barkley.
Wow. Okay.
I love Saquon. Maybe I just like all these risky picks this year. I don't know if you want to call them risky, but yeah, I'm all in on Barkley this year if I could have him. But
Yeah. Yeah, I love
yeah,
it.
I think he goes that way route.
I love it. Christian, you're picking for me.
Yeah,
got
and honestly, I
Waddle
think
in the
this
9th,
felt
Thomas in the 10th.
well, and honestly, I feel like this is a perfect situation. Like, I feel like if the draft played out this way, Matt, you would be elated because I feel like who I'm about to pick right now is exactly who you're going to be gunning for if the draft played out this way. I was going to say Kamara, but knowing you're keeping Thomas, you can't really bank on two Saints. So I would kind of shy away from that. In my opinion, Kamara is the best player on the board, along with another player who I'm not going to name, just in case you guys are going to take him. But I think in this situation, knowing you have two good, solid late round receivers, I'm taking Aaron Jones. I think that's the pick for you, and I know you are a fan of him. But that's also who I would take in this situation.
Nailed it.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it, man. I love it. Jones with Waddle and Thomas. I'd be doing backflips. I'm up, right, Craig?
You.
He's got Jefferson and Fournette and no second round pick.
Those are such good keepers, man. God,
they are nice. I think no second round pick forces him to take a running back, though.
Sure.
And obviously there's someone who in orange that's sticking out who I could also give him possibly. But sounds like this guy's not getting suspended. Kamara this late. Craig's got to be a happy man.
Steal.
We're going to round this out. Derek.
That would leave Mr. Chubb.
Ole.
Wow. Okay. And honestly, I feel like if the draft played out this way, which it is certainly possible.
It is.
Certainly possible. I mean, Marcus has got to be thrilled with getting Devin's second round pick, knowing what is still there.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely his thought, right?
Jesus.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to get there are at least two or three guys I can name, that could be the number one player at their position.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, this is
Did you hear that? That scared the shit out of me.
Oh,
I
don't think anyone else heard it, man.
Oh, it's storming here, and that was like the loudest thunder, and it just.
I heard. Yeah, I know some. I know the west side is getting knocked out with power and stuff. So.
Yeah, nothing yet. So if I go blank, we'll see. But yeah, that just scared the shit out of me. Oh.
All right. So I think everyone's surprise here is that Kelce doesn't go in the first, right? Is that kind of what we're hinting at?
And that was hard giving up that, not hard giving up the second round pick, but Kelce would have been a smash there if he had fallen.
Yeah.
Well, and I don't necessarily disagree with the Derek pick either, because with Dobbins' injury, never know.
That was my reasoning.
Yeah.
And again, with this league and running backs, you know how that goes.
Right.
That's how it goes. So
yeah, that's an interesting little exercise, boys. I hope everyone else liked it, and I think next week we'll just be kind of diving into the draft, right? Diving into whose teams we like, whose teams we don't like, what picks we liked, what picks we don't like, and things like that.
That board is so aggressive.
It's aggressive.
Yeah, Matt, you don't get nearly enough credit. You deserve all the credit in the world for keeping out. You are A1 fantasy manager, commish, whatever.
It's I love the league, man. What can I say?
Send me out a reminder to bring the board because I know I'm gonna forget.
I'll take care.
I'll probably put it in my car on Saturday just so
I'll take care of you.
We should probably get a little chat going too to figure out what other people are bringing. I'm kind of excited for the food. I'm gonna starve myself for the next 2 days.
That's what I thought about when we started talking about the food. I was just like, well, I wonder what other people are bringing, and so we should probably get that squared away.
Yeah,
for sure. I love it, boys. We'll see you someday. All right.
All right. See you guys.
Do it.